Salut mon pote, comment ça va? I'm pretty excited to start this new series of videos, this new course specifically about pronunciation. Okay? So this first chapter will be quite quick actually. This is what we're going to cover today. Why focus on pronunciation? I will try to convince you that if you're trying to learn French, focusing a bit, especially at the beginning of your learning on pronunciation, phonetic, and how to speak with a proper accent will go a long way for you. Who are this video for? Alright, so this will be pretty quick. And, for this first chapter, I wanted to just introduce you to all the different sounds of the French language. That will be basically all the sounds that we're going to review in the following, like in the future chapters. And so I will introduce you to the phonetic alphabet, which is quite easy, but it's something that most people don't really know. You will see that it's pretty easy actually. I know that, each languages have their own easy things and difficult things. So, for example, you might find that conjugation is the difficult thing in French, or having genders for everything to know. But fair enough, pronunciation, especially if you learn it in the beginning, is not so difficult in French actually. So you will see. First of all, why focusing on pronunciation? So my idea is that from my understanding and from what I see with many students is that basically if you have a better accent, if you can speak French in a better way, this kind of generate a whole positive circle and the whole thing just spiral upward, For example, you speak to people and people will tell you, wow, you have such a great French accent, where did you learn French? And so, this will kind of give you a very positive feeling and makes you more confident, I want to say. Also makes you more comfortable of speaking to other people. And, this right here, being more confident to speak to people in French is kind of the key to learning faster, basically. We just speak more and then learn faster. And if you learn faster and speak more, you will automatically have a better accent, right? Because you talk to more people. And so, yeah, that's what I was saying, like the whole thing just spiral upward in a positive way. The other reason that I want to focus on why you should study pronunciation is that if you look at these pictures that I have put here, you might notice something strange and something that is not so pretty on this picture. I think obviously is that the physical appearance of this guy is not really, doesn't look balanced, in my opinion, right? Like you can see the upper body is very muscular, the lower body is very thin, and it gives an impression of being unbalanced. And I feel like in a comical way, it's kind of the same with language, like if you just focus on grammar and you have a very good and very strong grammar and you know the whole textbook by heart, but your pronunciation is really bad, I mean, it's just not balanced, And I feel like if you're going to learn a language, to learn it in a balanced way is just the right way to do. And I'm sure you can understand when I say this that it sounds logical, right? And, obvious main reason, big reason why to learn pronunciation is that, it's part of the language. You know what I mean? Like you cannot just be okay with having a sloppy accent, So, yeah. That's for this part. Very quickly, who are these videos for or not for? So, I mean, if you are still watching up to this point, you may have noticed that I am mostly speaking English. So obviously, these videos are not meant to teach French grammar, vocabulary, conjugation, etc. Okay? This will not be a French conjugation or a French grammar or a French language course. We will only focus on pronunciation and how to get you to have a better accent. Okay? And I guess, I'm not sure 100%, but I guess that this will be more efficient for people who are already studying French and who know at least a few words, okay? Like this maybe should not be your very absolute first contact with French language, okay? It's good that you are already trying to learn a bit. So, let's go to the topic of today. Here you go. Here you have the French alphabet, okay? L'alphabet français. So 26 letters in black you have the consonant, and in blue you have the vowels, all right? 20 consonants, 6 vowels. Vowels goes A, E, I, O, U, Y, but Y is a special kind of vowel, and we're going to talk about it in a few minutes, okay? So in case it's not obvious to you, which might be the case, vowels are the sounds, so these 6 letters here are the sounds that goes like A, E, I, O, U. These are like the singing sounds, okay? Like you can sing with these and you can make like melodies and you can vocalize them. The consonants are the sounds where you just let air goes out of your mouth, like B, K, S, D, X, W, V, S, Z, etc. You know, like I'm sure, like it doesn't require much explanation to get this point, I think, okay? And you can, I mean, you can try to sing with consonant only, but it will be a bit difficult, I think. Why study phonetic alphabet and why study phonetics? So I give you a brief example. Look at the words right here. Une fête. Put my face bigger. Une fête. La lumière. Je t'aime. De la neige. So, fête, like a party. Lumière, light. Je t'aime, like I love you. Neige, snow. What do these words have in common? Fête, lumière, t'aime, neige. I'm sure you can identify easily that they all have one sound in common. Fête, lumière, t'aime, neige. They have the sound E in common, right? But as you can see, you have like 4 different ways to write it, like E with one accent, E with another accent, AI and EI. And yet, all these different spellings are generating the same sound, which is E. So different spellings can make the same sound. And this is why you need something like the phonetic alphabet. So this is right here, phonetic alphabet, basically. This drawing right here is the sound E, okay? No matter how I write it, like fête, lumière, thème, neige, this is all the same sound, which is this drawing right here, E, okay? By the way, I will not ask you to learn the phonetic alphabet. You will not have to learn it, okay? That's okay, so don't worry. But I want to introduce the concept of having a phonetic alphabet to you, because if you, like, you cannot study pronunciation, I mean, it's way easier, it's a very easy tool for you just to get the principle that this drawing right here means the sound E, and that's it, okay? Très bien. And on the other hand, if you look at these words right here, un examen, deux mains, une fourchette. Now, can you see what these words have in common? Un examen, deux mains, une fourchette. Well, all of them, they have the letter E, but for some reason, even though it's the same letter, it sounds different in every word. Un examen, here the letter E sounds like E, examen. Deux mains, here the letter E sounds like E, deux mains. And here, fourchette, the letter E sounds like E, just like we've seen in this slide right here. E, okay? So one same letter can be pronounced in different ways. And once again, this is why we need phonetic alphabet to know that here we're talking about the sound E, here about the sound E, and here about the sound E. All right? So whenever you see letters or drawings, put between 2 brackets like this or like this. It means that this is not a letter that you should read. It means that this is a letter that you should pronounce. This is a sound, basically, okay? This is the best way we got to transcript a sound on paper. So now we are going to look at the phonetic alphabet. So it will look like a lot, the next slide. So this is why I have put this one right here. Don't panic if it looks like a lot to you. We are going to review everything little by little, lesson after lesson, and you will see that it is way easier than what it looks like when you first see the thing. So let's go. Here are all the vowels in French. All right, so once again, not all the letters, all the vowel sound that you can make in French. All right. First, I will just read them to you, and then after this one, we look at the consonant, and then after this, we look at example words for each sound, just so you understand how they are classified, and that's it for today. All right. For this first chapter, it's very easy. You just have to sit comfortably and listen and try to actively understand, but there will be no exercise or anything like this. First of all, on a les voyelles orales simples. So these are vowels that are sound. Oral means that's coming from your mouth, so like simple, easy vowels. All right. On a le son I, like in si, il, still. Le son U, like su, sur, U. Et le son OU, like sous, coûte, ou. So one thing that I want you to notice right now is that the letter U, so look at my mouth, not my mouth, but on the screen. The letter U makes the sound U, but phonetically, in terms of sound, the sound U, we write it like this, with a Y into bracket, okay? This is not so, like, it's not so obvious at first, but this is why I'm insisting on this point. Whenever you see the letters in bracket, it's not about the letter anymore, it's just about the sound. And a Y in between two brackets means the sound U. And where it becomes confusing is that the letter U between brackets is not the sound U, it's the sound OU. Okay? Ça va. Then we have, for each of these three vowels, I, U, OU, we have what we call semi-voyelle. So it's like half vowels, half consonants, and each of them is matching one of the voyelles orales simples. So for the sound I, the matching semi-voyelle is Y, like nier, aïe, okay, the sound Y. For the sound U, the matching semi-voyelle is Y, like suer, lui, Y, okay? If it seems confusing to you right now, don't worry, we're going to see better examples afterwards, and more importantly, chapter after chapter, we're going to study them and you're going to pronounce all of them correctly. OU, the matching semi-voyelle is W, like nouer, louis. Okay? Très bien. Maintenant, the most difficult topic in terms of phonetic maybe for a lot of people, les voyelles nasales. So these are the vowels with sound coming from your nose. These three sounds, you can actually feel it in your nose right here when you pronounce them. So we're going to spend a great amount of time learning how to distinguish and properly pronounce these, okay? On a le son en, like chambre, sans, entendre. Le son on, like bon, compris. Et le son un, like vin, fin, pain. En, on, un. I can feel a vibration right here. You can just try it yourself, you know, like you put your fingers like here. En, on, un. You can feel a vibration coming from your nose. And, right, supposedly there's another one here, another kind of un. I don't go into detail, but to me it's irrelevant and counterproductive to focus on this. So if you wonder about this sound right here that you might see appear somewhere sometimes, then just know that for me, I just put the two of them together. Un and un, I don't do distinctions about this. So to me, the only un I will consider is this one. And I promise you that simplifying things like this will only make it easier for you and will not hurt your accent at all. 0%. Okay? Très bien. Finally, we have les voyelles orales, so going back to the normal vowels that you make with your mouth, but all of them, they have deux timbres. It's like they have two ways of being pronounced. Like usually, it's a closed way and an open way. Okay? On a ici le son et le son est. Et. So e and e are basically the same sound, but if you look at my mouth, this one, you can see that e. It's like one, for the first one, my mouth is kind of closed and stretched. For the second one, it's wide open. E. This one is probably the most difficult one to distinguish alongside with voyelle nasal. Like voyelle nasal and the difference between e will be like the two big tricky topics. Donc e comme dans c, t, chez, est comme dans celle, père, tête, m. Alright? I encourage you to pause the video every time I speak like this and to repeat after me. But we're going to do this also later. Ensuite, on a le son E et E. E. Same principle. If you look at my mouth right here, you can see that the first one is small, second one is wide open. E. E comme dans peu, ce. E comme dans seul, peur, cœur. Ok? Ensuite, on a les sons O, O comme dans peau, seau. O comme dans sol, port, corps. Ok? Très bien. And then, we're supposed to have two A sound in French, but just like for un, there's one that I disregard and I don't count it. This is why there's a line here, hiding it. I will consider that in French there is only one A sound, which is the regular A, comme dans pat, ma, etc. And once again, I promise you that simplifying things like this will not hurt your accent at all. 0%. You can trust me on this. C'est bon? Here's for the vowels. Way more easy now, the consonant. So here are all the consonant sound in French. And they are put in this tab in a logical way. Each consonant sound in French has like two ways of being pronounced. Usually it's like a way that's very tense and a way that's very relaxed. I give you one example. P et B. P like papa, le son P. B like bonbon, le son B. Le son P is very tense. P. It's like my whole body is very tense like this. P. And the air goes in an explosive way out of my mouth. But for the B sound, it's very relaxed. It's like B. The B sound is actually so relaxed that I can kind of make it last in my mouth before letting the air go. Like B, like this, I cannot do this with P. Like, I cannot, because P is just straight away tense explosion. P. You see what I mean? So, one way of thinking about it is that basically P and B are like, they are the same sound, they are on the same spectrum, but one is tense, one is relaxed. And it's the same for everything right here. On a le son T et D. T comme dans tonton, D comme dans doudou, tense, relaxed. K comme dans kaki, G comme dans gaga. F comme dans foufou, V comme dans vive. S comme dans c'est sous, Z comme dans zizou. Ch comme dans chat, chien. J comme dans gym, jouer. L comme dans lily. Et R, so depending how you pronounce it, you might say R or R. R comme dans rat, roux. comme maman, n comme nounou, ny comme gnangnan, and this one is the ing, like ing in camping, alright? But this one is a bit special because we only find it in French in words that we took from English. So we might as well don't really count it. I put it here just so the tab looks equal and there is no hole at the bottom. But this one, we talk about it later, it's less important. Ça va? Alright, we're left with just looking at some example of word with this. Look at this. So, le son I, going back to Voyels, looking at proper examples. Le son I, on a bien il. Tu entends le son I. Et dans payer de y, ou like fille, you can hear that in the y, there is I, like I. This is why la semi-voyelle y is associated to I. So please, for this part, just practice repeating after me. But don't worry if it's not perfect. Like I told you, we're going to see each case in detail in individual chapters. On a donc il. So I'm expecting you to pause the video if you want more time after each word that I say and you repeat it after me. Il payait fille. Très bien. Maintenant, on a donc U et Y, same logic. Musique. Okay, one trick that I like to make the U sound if it sounds difficult for you. What you can try to do is that you put your mouth as if you were going to whistle. So like this. Okay? Even if you don't know how to whistle, it's the same, it's fine. So basically your mouth will become like this. And while keeping your mouth in this position, you try to make the E sound. Okay? So it will sound like U. And here you go, you have a U sound. It's as easy as this. So everyone can make U sound. Okay? Très bien. Musique, nuit, Y. Tu peux entendre que dans Y, nuit, there is the sound U. But there's also kind of a Y. There's almost like a consonant vibe to it. This is why we call it semi-voyelle. And the last one, OU, comme dans route, ou bien bois, the sound W. Route, bois, W. Très bien. Ensuite, the nightmare, les voyelles nasales. On a donc en, comme dans entendre, on, comme dans saumon, mon, un, comme dans moulin, un. Très bien. Then, c'est parti pour les voyelles orales avec deux timbres. On a donc et, comme dans T, et. Once again, look at my mouth. First one is always stretch. Et, second one, open. E. T, celui-là. T, tête. T. Et, E. Très bien. Tête. Ok. Then, E. Once again, my mouth. E. Comme dans vieux, and by the way, vieux, I also have this sound right here, the y, same as dans payer, fille, vieux, okay, anyway, vieux, cœur, heure, très bien. Ensuite, on a O et O. O comme dans eau, de l'eau, O. O comme dans corps. O. Très bien. Il fait chaud. Super hot in France. Yesterday was 40 degrees in my city. Super hot these days. And the sound A, sorry, comme dans Ra. A. Pretty easy. A. Très bien. And that's it for the vowels. Okay. And just to review quickly consonant, on a donc P et B. Alright. On the left is the tense one. On the right is the relaxed one. Papa, very tense. Papa, B. Bonbon. Bonbon. Ok. Très bien. T, very tense. Tante. 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 D. Doudou. The relationship between B et P is the same as in between D et T. It's like D is to T what B is to P. I hope like the sentence sounds more confusing than helpful, but I'm sure you know what I mean. Donc, tante, very tense. Doudou, very relaxed. Dou, dou. Que, very tense. Kaki, que. G, like gargouille. G, ok. Que, G. Kaki, gargouille. Très bien. F, very tense. Foire. Try to imagine that you tense your whole body and you make a f sound and then you relax everything and you go to V. And then you have this. Voir, ok? Foire, voir. Très bien. S comme souci, souci. Z comme zizou. If you don't know, Zizou is the surname of probably the most famous French football player of history. Zinedine Zidane, his real name, but very common, we call him Zizou. Souci, Zizou. Ch comme chine, j comme gym. By the way, in English, gym means like the place where you do like working out with like weightlifting usually, gym. But in French, gym means like gymnastics, more like this, more like yoga basically, a bit more. Donc, chine, gym. Très bien. Le son L, comme dans Lille. This one is my city in France. I mean, yeah. Lille, Lille. Et r, rire, rire. Ok, très bien. L, r. M comme maman, maman, nounou, nounou. The relationship, okay, now going to L, R, M, N, and Ng. The relationship between them is not really tense, relaxed anymore. It's a different kind of relationship, but we don't go in detail right now. But we will talk about it in the relevant chapters. Comme maman, nounou. Très bien. Ouais, like this. And the last one. Comme campagne. Campagne. Et camping. Ng. But like I told you, this one we borrowed from English. So camping, for example, is an English word that we use in French. Okay? Très bien. That's it. That's it for today. So I hope you got some insight from this. Like I told you, this is just an introduction to the phonetic alphabet, just so you understand like that there are different sounds, okay, we use in French, and so you got an overview of all of them. The most important slides of this presentation is obviously this one for vowels and this one for consonants. So one last time, these are not all the letters we use in French. These are all the sounds that you will hear in the French language. And as we will, progress chapter after chapter, studying sound, we will do exercises for you to practice reading them and having a better accent. So like the objective is that at some point when you will speak French, people tell you, wow, you have such a great French accent. Where did you learn French? And you will tell them, yeah, I've been watching the video. No, okay. Okay? C'est tout. That's it for today. À bientôt mon pote. Bisous.